What's up, Meta Nerds? This video is all about the Seismic Tank. It was commissioned by the Commerce Guild, which was a large conglomerate of mining businesses that stretched out across the galaxy. And it was manufactured by Howard Charles Engineering. This is a company that was run completely by religious bugs. This insectoid species got spiritual fulfillment by crafting high-quality vehicles and ships. They would later bring us the Hailfire tank, the Vulture droid, and the C-9979 landing craft. At the time that they were commissioned to start the building of the Seismic Tank, the Republic had strict laws banning any kind of military vehicles from being built. But this design was approved because its original function was just to be a piece of mining equipment, and the way it worked is that the Commerce Guild would deploy dozens of these across the planet and leave them there for a while as the seismic driver continuously pounded away at the planet's surface. Eventually, this would make a deep enough hole that the Commerce Guild could deploy hordes of other smaller mining droids to collect all the minerals located deep within the planet's crust. But let's take a look at how the Seismic Tank actually worked and some of its basic stats. It was 55 meters or 180 feet tall, making it taller than 2.5 Jawa sand crawlers. And the maximum altitude that it could float across the surface was 30 meters or almost 100 feet. If you could take a look inside of the Seismic Tank, you would see that it has 4 repulsor lift generators, one located on each of these wings. But along the bottom near this opening, you would also see a line of smaller repulsor lifts, which would help to stabilize the vehicle when it deployed the seismic driver. This massive metal core was held in place by using magnetic rails. These were calibrated so that the metal core was never in contact with the tank itself. This frictionless design meant that less energy was needed to propel the driver into the planet's surface. A vehicle of this size was of course very slow, and we see that it was all operated by a crew of battle droids located up top here on the command bridge. And we got to see how this mining tool was used as a weapon during the Battle of Dantooine. The droid pilots would simply float this thing over the enemy forces and then just drop the hammer on them. This created a concussive force and massive shockwave that could break bones and collapse internal organs. And it's interesting to see that the CIS was so willing to sacrifice its own troops, as many B-2 super battle droids were also destroyed with this shockwave. And the only other time we know that the Seismic Tank was used was during the separatist attack of the agricultural world, Yukio. This planet provided a whole bunch of food for the Grand Army of the Republic, and because it was so crucial, it was protected by a planetary shield. The CIS wanted to kill off all of their crops, but couldn't find a way to get past this barrier. Eventually, they came up with the idea to use the shield itself as a means of stopping food production. A single Lucre Hulk class battleship was able to deploy a whole bunch of seismic tanks that then positioned themselves around the planet. They coated the surface of the seismic driver with a chemical that would attach itself to the planetary shield and turn this shield black. Now that the planet was without sunlight, the locals realized they had to lower their defenses and take their chances with trying to fight off the CIS army. But this was a lose-lose situation, as the CIS forces were simply too strong and they quickly overtook the entire planet. Kit Fisto and Kalivine Rias tried to help retake Yukio, but they were unsuccessful, and the planet remained under separatist control until the end of the Clone Wars. And that's where its history ends. That's it for the Seismic Tank. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, and be sure to leave a comment down below if I missed any cool facts, or if you have a suggestion for future videos. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at MetaNerdsLore, so you can see us build Star Wars props and cosplays, along with some other cool Star Wars stuff. If you want to help support this channel, check out the description below for our Amazon store and our Patreon. And be sure to subscribe, because we're making videos like this every single day. But more important than all that, remember, if you're a clone commander, don't just let this thing hover over your troops, and the Force will be with you, always.